Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Well, glad to be here, Jim, and we've had an exciting week, so I imagine our shareholders are smiling.
China is opening the world's biggest factory, and you're connected to it somehow. What's the connection?
Well, China's talking about a gigafactory 5 times bigger than the Tesla factory in Reaugh, and that's significant. I mean, wow, that's just one company, and there's all kinds of gigafactories being built around the world. What's that tell you? That tells you that there's a demand for lithium-ion batteries, and specifically in the EV car realm. Bloomberg came out with statistics from another company that there was going to be 121 million EV cars on the road by 2030. That number just keeps going up and up and up. And so it's all good for American Manganese, who's got a recycling process that can handle a lot of these batteries. And, I think we're in the right place at the right time. We've had other exciting news too, Jim. The U.S. Patent Office has published our patent, and publishing it out there gives everybody a chance to look at it and see exactly what chemistries we're using, and it kind of validates everything we're doing. We're still under patent protection in 152 countries and jurisdictions. So it's not like anybody legally can go out and steal our technology. The exciting part of that is, now that you've got this on the table, when you're talking to somebody, even under NDAs, you would never tell them about the exact chemistries that you use. So it was kind of what you would call a black box technology. We say that we put the cathode material in, and we get 100% of it back. And that makes sense when you think about it mathematically. It's 100% cathode material going in. It's the only material you're treating, and you can get 100% back. And that is, of course, on the pure cathode materials from a lithium-ion battery, where you strip off the cathodes from the aluminum foils by disassembly of the battery. We're doing a pilot plant work right now that we're using other material that has been prepared from a company in Europe, and it does have some other contamination in it. So I'm not sure that we'll get 100% there, but because there's in their methodology, there's other metals and carbon and everything else introduced into it that might prohibit that, but it'll still be in high numbers. And the reason why we're doing that is there's the handheld devices, your iPhone, for example, or your tablets, or any of those take lithium-ion batteries, and they're very high. They're usually lithium cobalt. So there's a lot of cobalt on the table in these batteries, and they're talking about reducing the amount in EVs. But somebody has to go after that market, and it's big. Apple alone spends over $400 million a year on cathode materials for their production of iPhones and tablets and handheld devices. So that's a market we really want to get to. And, I haven't talked a lot about it, but we're testing that type of material. Everything's looking good so far. And, it's a place to capture a lot of cobalt. And, and the fact is that it's probably a little more difficult to gather up those types of batteries, because they end up in the garbage. You hearing about explosions and everything else, and they're not being recycled. But the simple way to do that would be to give them a trade-in value. It wouldn't have to be much. From your old phone, $25 or $50 or whatever, from your old tablet, around the same numbers, and you'd be able to get these back and in an environmentally and social conscious way. You can recycle those, and that would be great for us. So the publishing of the patent also allows people to realize that we don't have that black box technology anymore. It's out there for everybody to see, that they can see that we're on the right path, and it'll probably hasten any kind of negotiations that we have. Because, as I've always said, we've had a lot of attention out of Asia, and we're kind of run off our feet here answering questions from companies out of Asia on their due diligence on us. So who knows what's going to happen? I mean, something could happen sooner than later, but there seems to be a big rush on in China. They have already got rules about recycling, and now they're talking about building bigger gigafactories in China. LG Chem is building factories, and the list just goes on and on and on. So that's great. We also had a release this week on the critical metals that has been identified by Congress, and we fit into that category very well. And knowing Trump, he's going to want something done about the shortfall, or the United States is dependent on other countries, and in half the cases independent on hostile countries to get critical metals like, manganese is one, cobalt, lithium, and even niobium. We have that, and so we're in the right spot at the right time. Certainly our recycling covers off 3 of those. And you can see that Dan McGordy, who's a valued member of our advisory board, and he's the go-to guy. He's always been the go-to guy for critical metals with Congress. So we're lucky to have him in our camp. So the stock has been doing well. The market cap has increased from about 28 million up to recently here, 36 million. That's a big jump, and that's all in the last week. So we're happy. We couldn't be happier. The AGM went well. We got over a 99% vote for everything that we had, and so that shows confidence from the shareholders, and we're happy to move on, being solid for another year. So that is kind of where I want to leave it off at this point. There was a lot of exciting things. Anyone would make a total topic, but I just wanted to cover them all because this is all happening in the last week.
Larry, where are you traded and under what symbols?
We're traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF. We're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. And we have a website out there, AmericanManganeseInc.com, where anybody can do their due diligence. And we have you can have my email address, which is LREAUGH@AMYMN.com. Or give us a call here at 778-574-4444.
Larry, thank you so much for the update.
Okay, Jim, that's happy to be able to relate.
I've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on June 1st.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.